Hey Hot Tots, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm guessing you saw the title, so you already know. I'm going to tell you 22 things I want to do in 2022. Obviously, these aren't all going to be goals because I just feel like I'm more interested in just bettering myself and working on things and just being more aware of things throughout this next year. So there's a couple goals I have in mind, but it's more of like an overall, feeling. I feel like I want to write these down and put these all around my room or on my dry erase board in my room so that I can see them every day, or post-its on my mirror. So I remember that these are things I want to work towards, things I want to work on daily. And, just remember where I started and where I want to go. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I wrote all my things down right here on this beautiful list. Ugh, I love that for us. So the first thing I wrote was eat more whole foods. One thing I really want to try to do more this year, especially now that I'm not as much of an amateur in the kitchen. That's up for debate. But I want to get more into incorporating more whole foods. Of course, there will be days or, it's going to take a while to really transfer myself from more processed to whole foods. You don't always have time to cook all the time and, all of that. But I want to make it a point to try to eat as much whole foods as I can, just to better myself and to better the foods that I eat. I'm not against processed foods, obviously. You guys know I eat a lot of processed food. But that's just something I want to kind of work towards and just have that in the front of my mind. So when I do go for something, maybe I do choose something different because I am thinking of that as something I want to work harder at, So eating more whole foods is something that's important to me. I did grab a couple new recipe books, which I'm really excited about, which is this one right here. It's called No Crumbs Left. It's a Whole30 endorsed recipe book. I follow this woman on Instagram. I'll put her handle down below. She just has such delicious recipes that are Whole30 approved, but that you're not lacking in flavor. And I just feel like this will really help me to have more whole foods and to think that way a little more and to really enjoy it so I'm not dreading it. You know what I mean? Next on the list, I want to try more recipes in food / cook more homemade meals. This obviously goes hand in hand with eating more whole foods. And I also just want to challenge myself to try recipes that I don't necessarily think I'll like, because now that I'm older, I like a lot more foods and food combinations than ever before. And I just think I need to give things more a shot. Guys, I just ran downstairs to get these cookbooks. I'm so tired. So one thing I want to work on is obviously like opening up my range of recipes that I look at. You obviously saw I got the Whole Foods, No Crumbs Left, Whole30 endorsed cookbook this year. I got this for Christmas. And then also I got the Skinny Taste cookbook. I forgot my Christmas cards are in here. But the Skinny Taste cookbook as well. Light on calories, big on flavor. I love actual cookbooks, so I love having them in my hand, able to look at as I'm cooking. And there are a ton of recipes in here that, for example, I wouldn't personally think I would like, but I want to try them. It's like, there's just so much stuff that I never think to make, or that I think, I probably won't, I don't know if I'll like that, but I really want to not only cook at home more and try out some of these recipes, but try out new recipes as well. I have an old crock pot cookbook from my grandma's cookbook collection that I have, and I would love to use some of these. This is one of her favorite little crock pot cookbook recipe books, and I'm just really excited. I want to try some of these out. I also, of course, have this WW Simply 5 120 brilliantly flavored dishes with 5 ingredients or less cookbook that I got last year sometime. I also last year got the Best of WW 135 of our most loved recipes for everyday cooking. Would love to grab some stuff in here. And of course it's nice because it does have points. So it's easier for me to figure that out since it's already in here. I bought the True Roots Kitchen Kristen Cavallari cookbook probably late last year. And I still have yet to try things in here. I just think there are some really good side dishes, really good desserts, just new things to try. And this is definitely more whole foods. They're recipes for gluten, dairy, and refined sugar free. And so that's, again, more whole foods, not much processed sugars or anything in there. And that'll be exciting to kind of go through that. So we have a ton going on here. Also, back when my bladder was giving me problems, I bought this interstitial cystitis chef cookbook. This is just more really like no acidity, acidic free, inflammatory free recipes. And I think that these would be great to try as well, just for when, you know, I'm trying to kind of down my acidity, if I'm having any bladder pain or discomfort. This would be really helpful to make. And then if I love some of them, I can just make them in my everyday life and they'll just become a staple. If you didn't know, they used to think I have interstitial cystitis, which is painful bladder syndrome. It makes you basically feel like you have a raging UTI all the time, but you don't. They don't think that I have that, but they can't figure out what it is. I haven't had a flare up in over a year, which is nice. I'll have a flare up for like a day. But luckily lately it's been so much more manageable. But that's why I bought this book to begin with. Is a couple years ago, I had a really bad year of flare ups and I wanted to start cooking that way. But either way, I'm really, really pumped about that. Now that this took 1,000 minutes for just my first 2 goals, let's move on. I put workout for mental health and more consistently. So I'm trying to look at working out as more of a mental thing rather than a physical thing. Kind of take my mind off of like only working out to lose weight when I know that it really helps my mental health. As you guys know, I struggle with mental health. So I know it helps me and I need to stop just looking at working out as like a weight loss situation. I know my walks help me mentally, but even if I'm like, oh, let me go to Orange Theory, I need to think about how much my brain's gonna love that after I get back and how my day's gonna look because I'm so much happier, you know? I put be outside more. I feel my best and the most grounded when I'm outside. I love spending time outside. When I get really sad or in bad moods, I find myself like laying in bed a lot or curling up on the couch a lot and watching movies and TV shows when really I need to turn off the TV. I need to go outside, even if it's freezing, and sit outside in the cold with my jacket on, all bundled up and just sit and ground myself outside because it really helps me feel better. I also just want to spend more time outdoors in general. So this next year, I really want to go on hikes and go find new places to visit that are all outside and not be on my phone. Allow myself complete rest days. I'm one of those people, I'm either all or nothing, like I'm go, 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 or I'm in like a severe depression. But either way, it's hard for me to turn off. I don't allow myself when I'm having a day where I'm like, oh, you know what? I should just, like, I just don't feel well. I don't want to do this or that. I'll still try to get some things done in that day. And I've decided I need to give myself like a complete rest day where if I decide it's not the day for me, I allow myself to lay in bed, watch movies, do whatever I need to do, but allow myself to fully rest and not think about the 20,000 things I want to get done. I think that will really help me in this next year kind of even out my workload because I really overwork myself a lot. Number 6 is find a better work-life balance and schedule. And I mean that not just for this, but also for my main job. I feel like between the both, I feel like I'm working constantly. And I need to kind of assign myself days of, okay, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, this is what you do, or these are the days you film, or this is what happens. Obviously that can change, but just devoting my time of, okay, this is the evening that you're going to get this all done. And then you're not going to do any editing or any social media or anything on this other day. Just because I'm having a hard time balancing the two and balancing my life and my happiness. So although I love getting content off of you guys, I need to find a better balance of what days do I film this content and then truly do it. What I'm thinking would be the best for me is weekdays to work on both jobs, but the weekends to be completely job free. So I want to work on that. Type A personalities, it's really hard. Number 7 is find ways to focus at work and stick to it. So I'm having a hard time at my main job focusing for long periods of time. I don't know if it's because I'm home now. I don't know if it's because I just know my job now, so I can almost like wait till the last minute. But I feel like before I was always striving and trying to get to the next level, trying to do better, trying to take on more. And it's okay, I'm like coasting now, but I just really want to get to a point where I feel like every day I accomplish what I need to, and I'm not waiting to just cram it all into a small amount of time. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to plan to be in my downstairs office at least day to night, 2 times a week. My downstairs office has all my screens and everything, but I do have a laptop. So what I've been doing lately is just like sitting on my bed with my laptop, sitting on my couch with my laptop. And I don't feel like that's a conducive workspace, you know? And I also feel like if that doesn't work, then I need to just bring my laptop and go to a Barnes & Noble, go to a library, and have designated days that I go to the library or Barnes & Nobles for my work day. Especially at the library, I can get my own little room. So if I have conference calls or anything, it's totally fine and I can speak up and I don't feel like anyone's watching me. But even on those days where I don't have many calls, I feel like I need to take myself, get up, get dressed, get out of the house, go to Barnes & Nobles and sit there and actively work, because I feel like it will really help focus my brain. So I really want to work on that in 2022. Number 8 is read more. I have been loving reading lately, and I need to make more time for it, and I need to really focus on it and put my phone and everything away, stop watching so much TV, and truly just sit down with a book. Not only does it help my brain open up more, but it helps me to have that silent time where I'm not staring at a screen. I also feel like when I read, I feel like I gain my brain function back, you know, like I learn bigger vocabulary words. I use better vocabulary in my day-to-day because I'm reading all of these words all the time. When I was younger, I used to read a ton, and I remember everyone would say like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Because I had such a broad vocabulary because of how much I read. I was an English major in college. So now I feel like I've really lost vocabulary. Like even when I'm leading meetings, I feel like I sound like a teenager half the time. So I really want to read more, and I feel like it would help me in so many ways, you know. Less screen time / set boundaries and stick to them. So I just want to make sure that I start setting myself boundaries for my screen time, because half my job now, or my part-time job, is on social media. I feel like what I've decided for myself is in the mornings, of course I can check the time, but I need to give myself 30 minutes in the mornings to not look at my phone. I wake up from my alarm. I don't look at anything else on my phone. I go work out. I come home, I shower, I log on to work, and then maybe check it at 11 or almost lunchtime. I need to stop looking at my phone and scrolling through social media the second I wake up, because I feel like it can set the tone for me for my whole day. So if I see stuff that's negative about the world, or, you know, whatever's going on, or just people being rude or mean comments or something like that, it can set my tone for the whole day, and I'm sick of it. I want to wake up, already get my day started, already get my day going of how I'm going to feel, and then check my social media. I also just want to cut down screen time, obviously, with TV and my phone in general. You know what I mean? I gotta fix my clip. Number 10 is get to goal weight / body look. Like, this is pretty broad. Obviously, I'm not going to get to my perfect body in this year, but I do want to lose this well, now that I gained a couple pounds, you'll see that in my next video. I do want to lose this last 15 pounds, and I want to finally get it off. You know, I don't dislike the way I look. I don't dislike the way I feel. I know that this is not where I want to be. I want to be a little bit smaller and a little bit more toned, and I want to keep working towards all these things. And this year, I want to set the goal of by the end of the year to be those 15 pounds down, and to be, you know, just to be in a better spot by then, and to make a leap, because I just feel like I've been kind of yo-yoing back and forth this past year. And obviously we know so much has happened in these last 2 years. I'm giving myself that grace, and I don't feel like I look bad by any means, you know, which is probably part of the problem, because I don't dislike how I look, but I'm just ready. It's time, and it's time to really just do it and get through it, and let's move on, and let's get to that next chapter. Let's get to that next thing. And with everything kind of slowing down in the world, the thing that I can definitely decide to focus on is myself. So that is one of my main goals for this year. Number 11 is set better boundaries. Again, with like the screen time, with the phones, with the access, I am constantly responding to people and constantly instantly messaging back, and constantly answering my phone when my friends and family call, constantly texting right back. And I feel like I need to set boundaries with that, and I need to give myself time and space and set boundaries with my friendships, with my relationships, with my YouTube relationships, and not in like a bad way, but just in a way that helps me mentally and all of that, because I just feel, again, like my other one, we're just so easily accessible right now that you go on a walk for 45 minutes and you're not looking at your phone, and you can have a friend being like, hello, are you like, what's going on? Like, hello, because they try to text you, and you're like, yeah, I took 45 minutes to myself, but just kind of like getting myself acclimated to that, and also my friends and family and everybody acclimated to my boundaries, that I'm not always going to be answering right away, that it doesn't mean I'm not like I'm mad at you or anything, but that I am not going to be checking my phone so frequently. I'm not going to be responding so quickly. I need to have moments away from my devices. Be more positive and speak more positively is my number 12, because I feel like lately I've been more negative. Like, I'm not a negative person usually, but these past couple years obviously make everybody feel more negative, more down the dumps, and I'm sick of it. I want to be more positive, more loving, more caring, and just let it be. If someone has a difference of opinion than you, cool, let it be. I'm not going to win. I don't want to win. I don't want to have a conversation or argument about things that will never change between two people, opinions and things that you have differently. It's okay. Let it go. Let's not talk about it all the time, So I just really want to, in the mornings and just in general all day, just try to actively think positively. When someone says something to me or sends me a comment or does this or does that, think positively, think with good intentions. And I really, really, really want to work on that this year and really try to change my mindset and stop saying or feeling all these negative feelings, Volunteer more and help more in my community is number 13. That pretty much speaks for itself. I want to volunteer more. I volunteer probably every other month at like the food kitchen. There's a place downtown that we feed everybody, the women first and then the men at different times. But I also want to just do that more consistently. And I also want to volunteer at the dog shelter that's close by. So, and then there's this horse sanctuary that I really, really would love to volunteer at. I love horses. They're my favorite animal. I would love to go help. They're in like a rehab facility where people don't treat them right. And then, they get brought to this sanctuary. And so I would love to help and devote my time to that. So I really want to pour into others and into animals, into other people, and into people who need me more this year, because I think we can get so swept up in us and our stuff and everything going on with us, and there are so many people that need us, and that fulfills you too, and that really fills up my cup is when I'm helping others and pouring myself into others and trying to make others happy. It really makes me happy, and so I want to do that more. Vote number 14, be with animals more and help animals more. Same thing. Number 15 is get a therapist. So I really want to find a good therapist to talk to. I just feel like I'm such a logical person, so I'm always like, I feel like I know what I need to do this or to get myself out of this or yada yada. But I think it's still nice just to talk to a third party. And so I'm going to get myself a therapist and really try to focus on my happiness and on the positives and find the right tools to help me with that. You know what I mean? So that I don't go into such a slump all the time, and that we can kind of figure out what I need to do to help myself. 16 is spend more time with my little sister, Julia. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I just want to make sure I focus more time on her during her development like her developing years, and make sure she knows I'm there for her, make sure she has like a good role model in place and that she knows I have her back. And, you know, just to spend more time with her because we are all older than her. So she doesn't have siblings that are around her age. And I just want to make sure that I'm like devoting more time to her. Number 17 is freshen up my languages, Excel, PowerPoint. So I want to keep my brain learning. And so I signed up for some PowerPoint classes, for some Excel classes. I want to freshen up my Italian and my Spanish speaking. Probably more so Spanish, but I took 5 years of each. So Spanish would make more sense for being in the United States and I always travel to Mexico. I would love to be a little more fluent. I can understand when someone speaks Spanish to me, but it's hard for me to remember how to respond. But I would just love to become more fluent in Spanish and brush up on my Italian and just keep my brain learning and keep me thirsting for more, you know? Like I'm very interested in the law as well. I've always wondered about like going back to school and maybe becoming a lawyer, or, you know, just because I really am very interested in the laws and just learning what you can and cannot do and helping people. But who knows? It's just, in general, I would just love to keep my brain sharp and to keep my brain learning because your brain is a muscle, you know, and I need to keep it going because I can feel myself just becoming such a robot and I hate that. Number 19 is save more and set up a plan and budget. So I know that I make great money and I have my side hustle and all this stuff, and I do not budget right. So I really want to start setting myself a budget and sticking to it. I have paid off a big chunk of my student loans, but I know by now I could have paid them all off if I would have really tried. So I want to this year really set myself a budget, really look into saving more than I have already, and just, you know, put money into different things that I should, and maybe even get like a financial advisor of how to do what I want to do. Should I invest in stocks, get a Roth IRA? I have a 401k, but I know Roth IRAs are good for you too. So just trying to get my finances a little bit more figured out and stop spending stupid money on stupid things. Pay off student loans is my number 20, which obviously we all want to do that, but like it is within reach for me this year and I really want to just do it. So that is my goal this year, is to pay off my stupid student loans so I have no debt. I will be debt free without my student loans. I lease my car as of now, so I literally have nothing under my name. My next goal would probably be to buy a car. I kind of want to lease to own, but I got to find a car that I love before I own it. I may end up buying my CRV though, just because all the cars are so up in price right now that I'm locked into like a very low price because they weren't like that before, and it would make more sense, but we'll see. 21, go explore the United States more. So I feel like this year has really taught me that I haven't like, you know, we're kind of off limits to like a lot of countries, or there's a lot of stipulations, or you have to do this or that, or it's kind of like nerve-wracking to go travel right now to different countries because you don't know what they'll want from you there. You don't know what's going to happen. You have to test all over the place, blah, blah, blah. That opened my eyes to, Sophie, you haven't even been to a third of the states in the United States. Explore your own country. So I want to really explore the United States this year. I want to go to I want to get one of those maps where it has every state, and I want to visit every single state, not all this year, but just in general, start visiting states within my country and learning more about the different states and, you know, enjoying visiting these states because I truly haven't been to many states. And so this year, I think I'm going to Nashville for my birthday, and I've never been to Nashville. So Tennessee, I'm going to go to Nashville, Tennessee. That's going to be great. I've been to Arizona when I was little, but not as an adult. I want to go to Arizona. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go, you know, there's so many different places within so many states that I want to visit and see. And I need to start doing that and exploring my own country. Number 22, the last and final, is say out loud my goals and things I want to achieve more often so I can remain focused on them. I want to more often every week or every day put Post-its everywhere, whatever, and say what my goals are, keep them top of mind, and remember that that's why I even made this list. It's like, here's what I want to do and let's get them done. Let's do some of these things. Let's work on these things, because I feel like when they're in front of your face, they're more top of mind. You remember that. Maybe that day, if I have a poster that says eat more whole foods, that day, instead of going and running or eating Kid Fresh chicken nugs, I'll be like, you know what? I can make this chicken bake pretty quickly and pretty easily from my recipe book, and it's made of all whole foods instead. So I really want to write on Post-its and place these goals or, aspirations all over my bathroom, my bedroom, and so that they're kind of more top of mind. That was a long video, and I'm so sorry, but we got a lot of goals, people. 22 things to do in 2022. 22 things. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know some of your goals or aspirations or things you want to work on down below. I love reading your guys' comments. I try to read all of your comments, and I try to at least heart or like every single one of them. I may not be able to get back to everybody, but I truly love and appreciate you all so much. I want to send out right now, I'm sending out positive, good, soulful, happy vibes right now to you guys for the year of 2022. I think this year is going to be a year of healing and a year of finally putting to bed, putting to rest what will or will not be, finally changing the chapter to the next. And I hope that we all have the most positive, happy, soul-fulfilling year in 2022. And I love you guys so much. I post every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you in the next one.